Hey family, welcome back to another video. So today I am going to be talking about waist beads. So I posted a few pictures on my Instagram about waist beads before, but my most recent picture led to me getting a lot of questions such as, what are waist beads? What are the purpose of waist beads? How do you wear waist beads? And so I decided just to make a video so that I can have it to send people for a reference, and also just to share my heart and what waist beads have done for me. I will say that everybody has their own unique journey with waist beads, and what they mean to everybody is going to be different. Some people choose to never show their waist beads, and some people choose to show their waist beads. It kind of just all depends on your own journey. Let me just talk a little bit about the history of waist beads. So I guess I should start with what are waist beads. Waist beads are beads and adornment that are worn around, of course, your waist, your abdomen, your hips, wherever you want them to fall, wherever you want them to hang, that's where they will be. When I got my first strand of waist beads, I was pregnant, and so I had them up much higher, and now that strand is much lower. Let me show you. So as you can see, your waist beads can go wherever you want them to go. If you want them to start up high, or if you want them to be actual at your belly button, or if you want them to be much lower, they can be wherever you want them to be. Some people choose to start them up high at their waist, and then as you lose weight, they will fall down. Okay, so basically think about jewelry for your waist. The origin of waist beads goes back to Africa, and various cultures wore them for different reasons. I have read and heard that girls got their first strand of waist beads as they were transitioning from girl to woman. I've also read that some cultures use them for fertility and for protection of the womb. Like I mentioned, you can use them for weight loss. So my original purpose was for self-love and weight loss. So like I mentioned, as you notice, if you put them on at your waist when you're at the beginning of your weight loss journey, as you lose weight, they will fall down. So it's a really good way to track what your body is doing, how your body is changing without getting on the scale. Because for me, getting on the scale is like an obsessive type thing. Like I just want to see how the number is changing. And so this time around in my weight loss journey, I have not been getting on the scale a lot. Looking at how my waist beads have fallen down shows me that I am losing weight, I'm losing inches, whereas the scale might not be moving as much. So it's a really, in my opinion, a healthy way to track your weight loss. It's also a way to teach you to love yourself, and this is the reason why I got into wearing waist beads. After I lost weight the first time and then I got pregnant, I struggled a lot with my body image, and so a black doula here in Atlanta made me my first strand of waist beads, and she made it to help me love myself, to embrace my changing body, to embrace my stomach, to love on my womb, to love on myself again. This was way back, this was in 2018, and I didn't show anybody, I didn't tell anybody that I was wearing it. It was strictly for me to help me to love myself again. It's just something about putting on your beads and tying them on and looking at yourself in the mirror. It just changes something, and it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain what waist beads do. You can only see it from the reflection. Like if you knew me back then and if you see me now, it's just something that has changed within the way that I'm able to love myself and how I can love my body. And I feel like because waist beads are so personalized and they're made for all bodies and all sizes, it was something that I could put on, and it was made just for me. And I didn't feel like I didn't have to lose weight to get there, or my stomach doesn't have to look a certain way to wear waist beads, or my waist didn't need to be a certain size to fit it. But the adornment was just for me, and I did it for me. And of course, Our partners love it too. Our partners love it too. And I feel like when you begin to love yourself and when you are embracing you and when you are loving you, it just rolls over into your relationships. I do believe, and I have read, that traditionally waist beads were only seen by your husband in some cultures, in some tribes. And like I mentioned before, my first strand was only saw by myself and my husband for a long time. And as I have added more, started talking about my weight loss journey, and I have grown in embracing myself and my body, I feel like I now show my waist beads more because representation matters. And I want plus size women to know that we need to embrace our bodies just as they are. Like, we don't have to wait until we are a certain size, a certain clothes size, or a certain pant size. You don't have to wait until you're a certain size to get waist beads. You don't have to wait until you hit your goal as far as your scale goal or your clothing size goal. You don't have to wait until your body looks a certain way. You don't have to wait until your baby fat is gone. You don't have to wait until you have snapped back after having a baby. You don't even have to wait until after you have the baby to put your beads on. You can put your beads on today and start to love yourself. And that is why I show my beads more now, because I want to encourage other women to love themselves. And that is the whole purpose and the sole reason why I make waist beads, is because I want to share my love and how I have learned to love myself and my body. Now I want to take that positivity and that love and that light, and I want to embrace other women with it. So as far as my beads, that is the purpose. So I pray before I make my beads so that I know exactly what the person needs. So yeah, that is just a little bit about waist beads, the history of them, why I make them, why I love them, why I wear them, why I choose to share them. Like I mentioned, I do make waist beads. I make single color strands if you just wanted a red strand or yellow, purple, whatever. And I also make personalized strands. With the personalized strands, I really just like to talk to people to hear what's going on with them, where their heart is, what they're needing, what's going on in their life, so that I know how to pray for them. And also after I pray, it gives me an idea which way to go with their beads. Even if it's just like an email, or I like to know, like, what colors are you feeling? Just because the way that we see a color, that color resonates within our spirit a certain way. Like, just think about the way you feel when you see the color yellow. It's like automatically you think happiness and joy. Or when you see the color red, you automatically think just bold and strong. Or when you see the colors like brown and gold, you think royalty, but you also get like that earthy feeling. Or when you see the color blue, it's like your mind just automatically goes to this peaceful water. So I like to know what's going on in people's lives, so I kind of know what colors I'm feeling. But as always, I always pray and I just ask God, like, what does this person need right now? And I have never been led wrong. People always tell me, how did you know that I wanted these colors? Or you chose the perfect colors for me. Or I didn't even tell you that I wanted to add on this color and you added it without me telling you. And that's because for me, making waist beads is not just something that I just do, but I pour my heart and my soul and my love into every single strand that I make. Every single strand that I make is handmade. There's nobody else doing it but me. And that is because I feel like this is just a way that I'm able to share my love and just wrap my love around women. And I love nothing more than uplifting other women. And so I feel like by making waist beads, this is one way that I can do that. Even though I can't physically touch you and give you a hug, I can wrap you in a strand of love. So I think that answers the two main questions that I got, which were what are waist beads and what's the purpose of them. And I also wanted to share, you know, my personal journey with waist beads and why I choose to show mine, even though in some cultures traditionally they were not shown. I want to share how to put on waist beads. My waist beads are very, very, very simple to put on. They are tie-on waist beads. I wanted to stick with tie-on waist beads because that is the traditional way of making waist beads. They're tied on and they're left on. You don't take them on and off because it's a journey. So I wanted to stick with the tie-on method. I currently use stretch cord to make my beads just because every other thread or cord that I have tried has not lasted as long and it hasn't been as durable, whereas the stretch cord has never failed me at all. And I have some beads that I have been wearing over a year that I have made for myself, and the stretch cord has never failed for me and has never snapped, even with me being active, working out. King will like pull them sometimes. And I know that a lot of people who are working out, have busy careers, nurses, moms, people in general, you know, I want my beads to last, and I want it to be something that can journey with you on your self-love journey. And so that's why I currently use the stretch cord, whereas traditionally they use thread, but I stuck with the tie-on method just because it's very simple. And so when you get your beads, they will just be one string. It will be knotted at the end so the beads don't fall off, and you just tie them in a double knot, tie that in another knot if you need to, and cut off the extra string. I try to leave plenty of string on the ends so that, you know, it's easy to tie. I will include an example of me tying on a new strand of waist beads at the end of the video. I just need to make myself some. Oh, and another reason why I like to tie on waist beads is because they are easily adjustable. So like if you lose weight, let's say, or if you got them while you were pregnant and then postpartum you lost a lot of weight and then they're just really, really big and you want to adjust them to make them smaller, it's really easy to cut them and retie them. So I think that's it. I just really want to come on and share this information with you. Just talk about waist beads, talk about my journey, talk about how they have helped me to glow up. Make sure that you are following me on Instagram at everydaywithray for more of my self-love, growth, motherhood, personal development journey type content. And follow my doula page because that is where my shop is, at Ray the Doula. If you are ready to purchase waist beads, you can visit raythedoula.com and click shop, and that is where you order waist beads at. Make sure you leave your information at checkout. Need your waist size. If you don't know your waist size, I really like having the waist size, but if you don't know your waist size, I can figure it out off your pant size most of the time. And make sure you leave some information like what colors you're feeling or just what you want to work on. Peace, love, happiness, joy. And I think that's it. For those of you who are loyal and you're watching this video right now, I will leave a coupon code in the description box below because yesterday was my birthday. So I'm just sending out so much happiness and love and light in the middle of this quarantine period because I know we all need it. So there will be a coupon good on waist beads, bracelets, and t-shirts, any type of apparel in there. So go ahead and grab yourself a set of waist beads, and I will see you in the next video. Peace and blessings. I love you so much. Okay, so tutorial, how to tie on waist beads. I tried to color the ends black so you could see them. Don't know if that's gonna work. Anyways, this is what your beads will look like. There'll be a knot so that they do not come off. Beads, 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 and another knot on the other end. Whoops. So they don't fall off. You will figure out where you want them to go. So once you figure out where you would like the beads to go, this is when you can tie them on. Mine are a little long, so I am going to make sure that they are down, and I'm just going to cut some so I can take some off, and I'm gonna take a little off. I just slid them off, so now I have another free end, and I still need to take a little more off. All right, so if I make yours based off your waist measurement, you won't have to do any adjusting, and so you'll have this from the jump, and then you just will tie a knot and pull tight. And you will tie a knot again. Or if you know how to tie a fancy double knot or whatever, you would do that. And because I like to do it again to make sure, I tie 3 knots. But as you can tell, once you tie your knots, you really can't see it because the string is clear. Then you will take your excess and chop it off and ta-da! Your beads are now tied on. And I probably could have made these a little tighter, but that's how you tie them on.